Hey, I love my family.
This boy is the love of my life.
Nothing right now in life is more important to me than my children. No.
I showed them love. I showed them how to love from a male's perspective.
It's something special. It's a love like no other. It's a love that you don't even have for your spouse, right? Because your child pretty much is like your heart walking around on the ground.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I always say that I'm very excited about my videos. Today is no exception. I'd like to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And in this video, we speak to some men. Sometimes you look at them and they look so brawny, they look so strong. But when you get down to the depth of their soul, you realize that their children are at their hearts and they have a real love for their children. And so we'll focus on those men today. We'll also do an interview with one of my siblings, my brother, and he'll take you through his journey as a single father, not by choice, but because of death and loss. So guys, thank you for joining.
Well, fatherhood is probably the most important thing. It changes your life from the day your child comes into this world. Your level of responsibility pretty much reaches the roof. Things you normally do as a single person, you do no more because of the risks that are associated with it. You know that fully right now that a life depends on you. So you have to change everything you do. Your number one focus now is not to ensure that this little human will get to where they need to get in life.
What does fatherhood means to you? How would I put it? Unconditional love, support from a child, a bond that neither fades, shatters or grows old. This boy is the love of my life.
A bond between you and your child. Something that, you see that bond between the parents and the child is like unconditional love. No one can interrupt that love. The only way that someone can interrupt that love is you, that parents messed up that bond. That's the only reason why somebody can come in and step in. It means commitment, like being a marriage. My daughter, yes, we talk about my daughter and my son. I made a commitment to them, yeah? Yes, to make sure they're safe, make sure they're protected, and food on their table and a roof over their head, right? Providing.
Being a better person so I can be a better example for my boys to emulate.
The most challenging part of being a father is whenever I think about Christoph growing into a young adult, into adulthood, turning into a man. And as you all know that we're not here forever. Life isn't eternal. Just not being here to be supporting Christoph. Just not being here to assist him with dealing with the world. As a child, as he is right now, I'm his father and he's my responsibility. And I would have to play my part, and it is an honor to play my part to take care of him. And as a child gets old and start no longer on a wing and start going out and starting a life for his or herself, the possibility exists that they might make mistakes and some they might live to correct and some might be detrimental to them and not being here, not being able to carry that burden, that weight, that responsibility a child gets into as they get into adulthood would be the most challenging part. But one of the most challenging part of him being a child right now, and I've been his father, is his ability to get under my skin. He gets under my skin a lot. He's always busy. Look at him right now in the video. He's always busy, always doing something crazy. And with adults, you can always control an adult. But with a child and children, they do some of the things which are so unscripted. And most persons know me that I'm not a patient person.
And also I have class all the time.
You have a class all the time.
Is consistency in the values I want them to emulate, you know, and discipline in carrying them out on a consistent basis.
Challenging part about being a parent, mine, I don't know why nobody else, but my challenging part with my daughter, when she become 18, my mind already gone there, I'm sorry. But I'm thinking about the time that she get her first love, the first career choice she make and she get turned down. I gotta be that shoulder for her to lean on. I gotta really step up my game, really really protect her. Yeah. So that's what I think about. That's what I think about my challenging part about being a parent. Not now, it's when she become 18.
The most challenging part of fatherhood is probably keeping up with all of the activities and during living your life to ensure that your child never feels neglected or feel that they're not important or they're not worthy of your love. Sometimes when you have a busy life, especially like me, because I'm a surgeon, you hope to have understanding children, but you have to make time to be there for them, all their school activities, to help them with their homeworks, and also to spend free time with them. Take them out, take them to the beach, take them out to eat. Make sure you spend time teaching them how to do chores, because as hard as chores are, children remember the things that your daddy teach them or your parents teach them when they're doing chores. So chores is a very important part of growing up.
This morning we were talking about fatherhood. For Mother's Day, I was able to introduce and to interview my mother, and that was a very interesting experience to interview her. But I don't have the opportunity to interview my father, because my father passed almost 11 years ago now. So I don't have a father to interview, but I have two older brothers. Yes, older brothers, and both of them are fathers. And it is my pleasure this morning to interview the younger of my two brothers. So our guest this morning is Mr. Maurice Mighty. So Mr. Mighty, good morning, sir.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, Jason.
Both of my brothers are good fathers, but the younger one has a very interesting story, because along the line of fatherhood, there were some very unexpected junctures. There are some very unexpected, as I call it, the hills and turns of Fern Gully. There are some very unexpected turns to the whole fatherhood journey for him. And as we go along, we will hear and understand what I am talking about in this journey of fatherhood. So first question, tell me what your feelings were like when you found out that you're about to have your first child. What was that emotion like? And leading up to the child actually coming in, what was that experience like?
It was a happy and exciting feelings, but as time progresses, you kind of realize that this having a child is somewhat of a different lifestyle. You have to prepare yourself for that changing lifestyle, because the responsibility that comes with that child, it's so important that I start to look and say, within 9 months, I'll be a father. So it was a very interesting period, because you're happy to hear that the wife is pregnant, but then you start to look on it. Now I'm a father. What's the approach I need to have for the next 9 months and for the child's entire life? So it was happy and exciting and very interesting.
So you start wondering, say, so at first it's exciting, and then it start to get a little scary and say, how is this going to play out? Like, what is this going to be like?
Yes.
All right. So what was the approach that you decided to take when you in your mind? Because sometimes in your mind you have a plan before, and then the reality may be a little bit different. So what was the approach that you decided that you were going to take as a father?
The approach that I plan to take, I realized that as a breadwinner, because that's the father's role, as a breadwinner and a protector of the family, you have a young son now, you need to give the mother the full support. And as the leader of the family, you realize that you should play the leadership role. So in the decision making and all of that, the son's upbringing, and notice now it's a boy. This boy should be a leader, because men are called to lead. Definitely. So you start planning how you're gonna grow this child. That's one. Number two, how you're gonna protect the family. Number three, what are the means to support the family? What you're gonna put in the child's brain based on religious responsibilities, because that is very important. So those are the things, and then you're the wife, and then I had a very strong family background, so I was planning to instill some of the values that my family have into this child.
Okay, so you had it all figured out. So you're 6 years now into fatherhood. 6 years into fatherhood, and 2 children later. So we had the first one, and then had a second one who happened to also be a son. And then 6 years into fatherhood, you are thrust into the situation where you now become a single father. We're not even going into the whole grieving part of losing your spouse suddenly. We're not, because we're going to probably have to deal with that on a whole different program, the whole grief of loss and so. But being thrown into a situation as a single father. So you and you alone. First, when you heard that you're going to have a child, you say, all right, all of these are decisions, you have a shared decision-making structure, all of that. Thrown into single fatherhood. Tell me some of the first thoughts that were in your mind.
The first thing that came to me, I said, God, you have to take care of these kids. That's the first word that came out of my mouth. God, you have to take care of these kids from me. So right there and then I realized that if I said that to God, God is gonna work on his purposes. Because that was the first word that came out of my mouth. Very loudly, God, you have to take care of these kids from me. So that was the first thing that came to my mouth. The second thing, I realized that no, you are the father of 2 boys. I kind of look at the possibilities of this now. I realize that if you have 2 boys, now you have to become a man. So you have to basically be teaching these boys manhood. So I realized that you cannot, and then I look at, because persons start to look at the negatives. These guys don't have a mother and whatever. Well, that will always be there. But then I say, let me work on the pluses. Let me work on the advantages. Because being a man and you have 2 boys, it's kind of somewhat easy. I don't have any hair to comb and all of that. I can teach these boys what to do or how to be a man. Number 3, I start to look at my resources. So I look at the people around me. I start to look at the people around me. I say, this family support and these people around can help to groom these children. So those are 3 things that I pay close attention to first. God, you take care. Number 2, I'm a man and they are men. So I can help them to become good boys or good men. And number 3, the family, the support system that I have around me, I have to draw on them. Once you have a strong family support system, you can make it, So I look at the positives rather than the negatives. You understand?
Yeah. And so all right. So I want to find out some of the challenging moments of fatherhood.
Some of the challenging moments of being a father. I had to learn to do the nappies and the diapers. Yeah, I had to be changed in the car, and that is one of the most difficult part of changing a diaper in a vehicle, and so that was one of the major challenges. I mean, but gradually I learned how to do it. I maybe perfected the art. So that was one of the things, and I had to learn to hold a baby because I was never up into the whole whole child thing. As you would know, Jason, you would know I was never really a baby person. Love to do that. So I had to learn the art of being a father, holding babies and all of that.
Yes, man. So that some of the things you have to learn
Yeah.
and learn real quick. All right, so some of the joys of fatherhood now. What are some of the things that the most joyful things about being a father?
I think knowing that you have brought a child into the world, that's one of the joy. Because number two, when you look at the children around you and see their progress in life, you know, that makes you feel, that make me feel happy. I can remember one instance when I think it was Ayel who was graduating from his prep school. That's the smaller one. And when I saw him walk up to collect his certificate or whatever, tears ran down my eyes because I said, I look at my product. And because basically I taught this boy to read. And then he happened to read one of the readings there. And I said to myself, look at that. And while they were having reading class at school, I said, he's not going to any reading class. I'm going to teach him to read at home. And he became one of the better readers. So that's one of the joy I look at as a father.
You actually see you invest in something and then you see the product, you see the fulfillment of that. That is good. So tell me now, your parenting style in terms of what some of the stuff that you learn and you do as a father, how has your father impacted on your parenting style? Right. Your father, my father, our father. How has his parenting style impacted your style as a parent?
Well, based on religious, the Christianity pathway, I've kind of instilled some of that in them. I kind of modernized some of his old way of growing children. I kind of modernize it. So when we were small, we never get the opportunity to speak. It's a don't talk business. Man don't talk, man walk away. A man don't talk, so you follow instructions. Now I realize that it's a little bit different now. You can't shut the children's mouth.
Join me for part 2 tomorrow as Maurice continues his story and the men tell you how they want to be remembered when they have passed. So thank you for watching. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. There may be a father who will be able to benefit from this video, or a soon-to-be father.